the latest Pathfinder. It's American, it's big, it's bold, it's brassy, and it's here. We're on the Nissan launch for the Australian release of X-Trail and Pathfinder. So for the time being, we'll bring you the big, bold, butch new Pathfinder.
Well, where does this sit, do you think?
Well, it's a large SUV. I would put it in the same family as Kluger. Soft roader, large, can have 7 seats or 5.
I think that they try to make it look a little bit more off-road aggressive, not totally, not drive up the side of mountains.
It looks like a Land Rover. This looks like a, and I don't think that's by accident. This does have some off-road controls, which we're using later on. We're going over some dirt, mud. We'll be using mud and rut. Stunning.
I think Nissan, both with the X-Trail and this Pathfinder, have done well. We're on a fairly smooth road, not quite the real smooth bitumen of an urban road. It's a bit of the coarse aggregate, but it's been worn down, and it's very smooth there. But even when we went onto the narrow, bumpy, flood-affected potholes...
Well, we should tell them that we were towing.
Yes.
So we've just come back from a towing course. We were towing 3/4 of a ton worth of SeaDoos, so a jet ski. And it hardly felt like we were towing anything until you got onto like a, quite a steep hill where you needed to sink the loafer into the Axminster.
There is a dial that you can do to pick towing.
In fact, there are dials and controls for everything, and they're all really easy to get at. There's much more technology and luxury in Pathfinder than first meets the eye. This SUV is American designed and built and is sold in very few markets outside the US, and that's why it's got a V6 petrol and not a diesel. It's even rarer in right-hand drive. We worked out there are around 43 inches of screen space, including the center and driver's screen, head-up display, and natty digital rear-view mirror. The surfaces have a lovely soft touch, and everything feels high-end. The leather is nice and soft except for the third row, which is synthetic for some strange reason. There are really clever storage bins and shelves and wireless charging, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, Bose sound, as well as up to 5 USBs and a couple of 12-volt outlets. In the top model, the rear console can be removed between the captain's chairs, which are exclusive to that model. Those in the second row also score privacy glass and sunshades for that VIP experience. The captain's chairs are heated, and there's another zone of climate control. Not only that, there is easy access to the back. The chairs flip forward, and all of the back seats fold down to give you an absolutely enormous load area.
Have a look at the scenery in front. I mean, there's been an awful lot of rain, so the condition of the roads is absolutely shocking, absolutely terrible. But I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. If I was a religious person, I'd say this is God's country.
Oh, Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the universe to see.
I thought you said you were in your amateur musicals. Chorus, clearly.
I know you won't put that in, that's all right.
Yeah, but I might. The features of this car, I think, are remarkable. They've upped everything from the previous model. Now, the one we were just in had a full digital dash. This one's got 2 dials and, I don't know, 4 or 5 inch screen in between.
It's quite a sizable screen in width.
I mean, it's all pretty neat. You know, you've got the bucktooth thing here, which you hate, but it's still a decent sized screen. Wireless Apple CarPlay in the other ones. I haven't connected it to this one, but I'll put a full list of the features of each of the grades. There's several different grades. There's all-wheel drive.
I believe so, yes.
Beautiful 9-speed automatic, so I would assume it's the one out of the Z. The engine, David.
It's a 3.5 litre V6 that gets around 10.8 litres per 100 kilometres.
On turbo.
Non-turbo, 202 kilowatts. Not huge in that regard.
And yet it was okay towing.
You felt it most up hills.
Yeah.
Again, we had a 725 kilogram jet ski, so that's not a caravan.
Neither of us were ever going to put that jet ski in the water.
It was 11 degrees.
Well, they made some comment about dipping our toes in Lake Eildon, but it was a joke. But you can see there's been a lot of rain. A lot of the creeks are very high still. They're flooded. And I think this is what people are going to be using. This is a family-sized car. But there are some singles that just like to have big SUVs.
Yeah.
Even this one, you know, it's got nice upholstery. It's got the safe driver aids as well. There's one button and it turns on the fancy cruise control and the fancy side assist and all of that sort of stuff.
It doesn't pick up lane marking on this type of road, which I admit is not good, but it doesn't pick it up quite as well as some others.
No, well, of course, some of the other brands, you don't even need a lane marking on that side. It'll just do edge of road. I think even Kia does edge of road, and it will also follow the car in front.
No guarantee that it.
This feels really spacious and roomy, but I think it's the outside look. I'm not that fussed on the front, but I certainly think the side and rear profiles look quite nice. David, what do you think?
I think the front is a bit Americana in the look, tries to look sort of a bit of aggressive. They call it a V shape. It looks more like a channel to me.
V-motion grill.
V-motion.
V-motion. Now we're getting onto a bit that's been potholed and fixed up. David is trying to miss every pothole, which of course means that is hitting every pothole.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Well, I didn't think I'd told you about any more. Oh, you're talking about the potholes. Yeah, sorry, I'm with you now. I thought you meant weekends. Weekends out.
I would never use the expression without sin in that regard.
Correct. All right, now we've just gone into mutton rut.
That's a cartoon, isn't it?
Rut and mud mode on our drive selector. This is really just the kind of graded road I think that you were talking about before with off-roading.
Potholes.
Yeah, but we've still got all-wheel drive, so the system is going to, I think, it'll cope with this fairly well. It seems to be so far. Well, it would do if we didn't have Nicky Lauder trying to hit every pothole in creation.
It's not a thing that you can avoid necessarily, but...
Said the actress to the bishop. As you can see, oh my God, so this doesn't normally, the lane departure doesn't normally work when there's no white line, and it was just going off on the dirt. Ha, that got you back.
Yeah.
That got you back, didn't it? Old Mrs. Grundy over here, having a laugh about me being on the side with all the potholes. Now that you can see that I'm driving, there's a lot. Oh, jeez. Of potholes on this road. I mean, it's virtually impossible to avoid them.
I
But funnily
might have said
enough-
something similar,
But funnily enough, well, that's different to actually aiming for them. I saw you concentrating with sweat on your brow, but we did hit one on the bitumen surface just before.
like that one.
That was, oh no, it was a hell. It was. You could hide a bus in it. Didn't it? The car crashed over it.
It didn't dent the rim.
These are quite sharp corners considering. Oh,
You see, now you could obviously heavily rutted, but it wasn't as if it was uncomfortable in you.
No,
You
no.
could hear it more than you can necessarily feel it.
what's your verdict so far?
It's just one that I would feel very comfortable in doing a lot of kilometres in a lot of different situations.
I think it would be brilliant touring, and I'd even be confident to tow a small camper, perhaps a pop top. But we'll bring you a full review later. This is really just a first drive impression. That's all this week from the brand new American-esque Nissan Pathfinder. As always, don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and I reckon to subscribe.